And finally, in the business department, we have Kevin Gallant. We say a fond farewell to Kevin Gallant, who's been with NBCC for 26 years. And Kevin, I'm really glad to know that you're joining this ceremony today and want to wish you sympathies, because I do understand that you've lost a very close family member. So I'm glad that you're with us so we can celebrate your time at NBCC. Kevin began his first techie job with ADI in 1982 and completed his engineering schooling after #Career1. He came to NBCC #Career2 with a love of technology. He was the poster child for virtual reality with his famous headgear. He delivered courses in numerous programs over the years, including information technology, animation, environmental sciences, and more recently, business. He is referred to as the Gadget Man with his passion for VR, 3D printing, drones, and more. He has been a proud contributor to the IDEA space and part of NBCC's applied research team. Kevin's retirement will likely become #career number 3, but first you will find him along the shores in Miramichi scouting for that perfect pass. We wish you all the best, Kevin, in your future. And in closing, I'd just like to say what a privilege it's been for me to work and learn from these 4 amazing colleagues. Thank you all so much for contributing to my learning experience and that of NBCC students. So I will now pass the show along.
Norma, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
That happens so often, right? So I was asked to say a few words on Kevin's behalf. So before I do that, I would like to say a few words that Kevin has sent forward. So I'll read that first, and then I'll just put a few of my little points in there. And so I'll get started. So this is from Kevin. I want to thank all the support staff from curriculum development, IT support, maintenance staff, security staff, to student services for many years of laughs and student experiences, especially their help in community volunteerism. We are fortunate to live and work at NBCC. We adapt to change quickly for our stakeholders. I want to commend all staff, from managers to admin support, especially in my experiential learning from applied research projects, drone races, Jaloo support to hundreds of volunteers for my Pumpkin Fling festival events. I will miss my students, nurturing them to succeed both in the virtual classroom and in the real world. I am going to continue my storytelling journey as an engineer, but use my mentor skills with a focus on clean energy economies for future generations. Kevin. So this part is from me. So first thing I want to say, Kevin, is way to go for setting the retirement bar really high. My retirement looks more like traveling to Europe, reading some good books, and acting silly with my grandkids. Clean energy indeed. I'll be just praying to have energy to survive with all the grandkids. So I first met Kevin in the hallways of NBCC over 20 years ago. He reached out with a firm handshake, a quick introduction, and a big as life smile. And you can see that same smile in the screen that we have showing today. And I believe I took that picture. That same smile was there a few weeks ago when I met with Kevin for coffee. And oh, Kevin, those were the glory days. That was a time when you had more hair and I had less hips. So Kevin, your big personality is infectious to everyone you meet. They also say that the best things come in small packages. And that couldn't be more true when we speak of Kevin. He is the only other instructor that I can think of that always had to look up to me. And I so enjoyed teasing him about that. If there was ever a hybrid child of Inspector Gadget and the Energizer Bunny, it would be Kevin. His passion for bass fishing, drone flying, solar energy, 3D printing, new technologies, climate change education, community volunteerism, and on and on and on, has left me feeling a little bit inadequate some days. But then it passes really quickly and I'm back to normal. You are truly a wonderful family man. To Melanie, Alex, Justin, and now Sadie, who truly appreciate your outdoor excursions from the trails to canoeing on the river. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family during the recent loss of your father-in-law this past week, Kevin. Kevin, you have inspired your students to strive to reach their fullest potential, and without a doubt, you have helped them bring out the extraordinary in themselves. Accomplished, inspiring, inventive, cheerful, generous, industrious, devoted, and thoughtful are a few of the adjectives I think of when I think of you. Thanks for your years of hard work and dedication to your students and NBCC Miramichi. Congratulations on your retirement. From all of your friends, colleagues, and best buddies at NBCC Miramichi, we are certainly going to miss that big smile. All the best, Kevin. So I am going to pass this off, I believe, to Heather Fowler.
Well, Kevin, what to say? Well, we've been many things over 30 years, even before NBCC, because you never know where your paths are going to lead you. I first met Kevin in the 1980s. He forgot career number 0.5 when he was my first ever supervisor at my first job as a teenager. And that was McDonald's, where every teenager goes to get their first job, I'm sure. And then we didn't cross paths again until we kind of converged at NBCC. And we've been many things. You've been my boss, I've been your boss, we've been colleagues, collaborators on so many projects, courses, and adventures. I will certainly miss your enthusiasm and passion on campus, but I wish you all the best on your next adventure, career number 3. I'm really sorry to hear about your father-in-law, but I absolutely know that we're not done collaborating because you have too many ideas that you want to take to fruition. So I'm only going to say that until we meet again in career number 3, because I'm sure that the adventure is not over. Best wishes on your retirement. I'm sure that you'll enjoy more family time and getting to spend time with your friends as well. And which, of course, that's all us because we're still friends outside of work, I'm sure, and you'll see all of us all again. And I just wanted to say too, while I had the mic, to best wishes to all the other retirees too, Cliff, Kevin, Al. There are so many people that I've worked with here that are retiring, and I'm going to miss all of you. I really will, and you guys will be missed. Don't ever think you won't. I'm now going to turn the mic over to Bill Murray.
The community, and he was so nice and welcoming, but he also set really high expectations for me right from the get-go. So Kevin, thank you for always questioning and setting those stretch goals for us, and also being willing to roll up your sleeves and contribute. Your colleagues did a great job of highlighting your contributions, your many contributions to NBCC. It's not my habit, and I'm not going to talk about everyone. I couldn't do that, and that's what our colleagues here today have done. But I do want to recognize Al for 35 years, and Al is very student focused. I keep a little repository of really interesting stories that speak to the impact of NBCC, and I can tell you that I have a lot of those from Al, because he really focuses on helping every student reach their potential, and anybody who's talked to me knows how important that is to me. And so some of those gems of, where a student just overcame all odds to walk across the stage didn't just happen because of sheer determination of the student. It happens because of that staff person or multiple staff people behind them, and Al is one of those. Monday night I did a tour of the Moncton campus, and I had lots of support from Chris and Dale, and I had faculty from hospitality meet me in the kitchen to talk about that, and Al had some of his faculty there, but he stayed late. Here Al is about to walk out the door, and he's staying late to make sure that our representatives know the value of an MBCC education and the prestige of our programs and the needs of the college. And I mention that story not just because I appreciate that in Al, but because I think it's an exemplar of all of our retirees here today. We heard lots of stories that talk about these attributes across every single one of you, and I'm just so thankful to be here celebrating with you. So once again, congratulations to all of our retirees. You've inspired students, colleagues, and the community with your devotion to transforming lives and communities. And you know, it's not just my words, but you've heard them from others and you've seen it in the comments. You know that you are going to be missed by all of us. It's funny, Danny Bear said the other day he had 3 faculty retiring. He said they represent 106 years of experience. He said, how do you put that on a job ad? And so I'm here to tell you that what was it, it's there in my notes anyway, that the 171 years of service represented by you all, certainly we could go and find people that have put in time, but they wouldn't bring the unique experiences and expertise and history and knowledge and relationships that you all brought to MBCC and made us such a great place to be. We talk a lot about kicking back, relaxing, and enjoying retirement, but I hear from the stories that none of you are just sitting back and relaxing, except for Norma, who's not retiring yet. Everybody's got big plans, and I'm so excited for you. I want you to know that you had at least 88 colleagues join in today just to celebrate you and to be here for you. Charlie began today by stating that all that you have done will continue. And please know that your work will continue through the people and communities that you've invested in, contributed to, and changed, especially MBCC and those of us that make it up. So thank you so much. Wishing you all the best.
Okay, we're all clear. Nice job, everyone.
Great job, everyone.
Great
Awesome.
job. Thank you all for doing all the legwork to put together the speaking points for our retirees and showing up early.